Clark and the Indiana Fever open the preseason tomorrow at noon against Washington, but number 22 could be on the bench. The 2024 Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark, is listed as questionable with a left leg injury. Of course, Sunday is...
Tomorrow, the Indiana Fever open the preseason against the Washington Mystics. But hold on, Caitlin Clark, yes, that Caitlin Clark, is listed as questionable. And just like that, the WNBA internet spontaneously combusted. You want to know how to throw an entire fan base into a frenzy? 2 words: injury report. One blink from number 22, and suddenly every Fever fan is drafting a prayer circle, lighting candles, and refreshing their Twitter feed like it's a Game 7 buzzer beater.
Well, here's how you throw your fan base and WNBA fans at large into a collective panic. Caitlin Clark on the injury report, which is exactly what happened as the Indiana Fever put out the report, the status update for the first preseason game against the Washington Mystics.
The update was simple. Caitlin Clark, questionable left leg injury. But to fans, it might as well have read, brace for the collapse of civilization. She sneezed, and the entire WNBA hit the panic button. Group chats exploded. Reddit went full conspiracy mode. TikTok turned into CSI. Caitlin Clark edition, zooming in on every grainy clip to look for limps, winces, or divine intervention. Let's be clear, it's a preseason game. It's not the finals. But Caitlin Clark missing...
Caitlin Clark has a lower leg injury, so she probably will not play in the first preseason game tomorrow. That's just breaking news. I don't think...
But Caitlin Clark missing it? That's like saying there's no Beyoncé at Coachella. Technically possible. Spiritually devastating. This is the face of the WNBA. The spark, the storm, the walking ratings boost. So yeah, when her name shows up next to questionable, it's not just sports news. It's an emotional event.
And sometimes you didn't know, and you just scrolled onto Twitter, and there it is! And there it is! And you're like, wait, what? When did that happen? How did that happen? What? And that could ruin
emotional event.
Lads.
We've all seen them. Injury reports are like jump scares for sports fans. You brace yourself. You think you're ready. You're not. But let's pump the brakes. This isn't the apocalypse. It's more likely a precaution than a prophecy. Maybe it's just a little soreness. Maybe the trainers are bubble wrapping her legs like they're made of gold.
Lads, Caitlin Clark is on an injury report. For the first time in her WNBA career, Caitlin Clark is listed on an injury report, lads. Oh my god. Oh my god, lads. She's listed on an injury report, and this is not the end of the world. This is not the end of the world. Not a great thing. Not an ideal thing. That's you never want to see someone listed on an injury report. That's never
like they're made of gold,
Clark,
which honestly, they kind of are. Now, let's shift focus. Because while Fever fans are having existential meltdowns, one person should be really worried right now. Angel Reese. Yeah, Bayou Barbie herself. Because in just 2 weeks, Chicago Sky opens their season against Indiana, against Caitlin. And if Clark's leg is anywhere near functional, Angel might end up in a
Clark,
low...
the only player on it, listed as questionable with a left leg injury. Now, I've seen a lot of injury reports in my day, and I'll say this. Of course, you get a jump scare when you see Clark's name there, given what she means to the Fever and what she means to the league.
Angel might end up in a low-light reel that lives forever. This isn't just any game. This is the game. Clark versus Reese, Part 2. No neutral ground. No PR fluff. Caitlin remembers everything. Every stare down, every eye roll, every sly social media caption. And if she's healthy, she's coming for revenge like it's a feature-length film. Logo 3s. Crossovers with intent. Petty on full display. But she's way overestimating her role. Let's talk about that for a moment. Angel Reese has charisma, no doubt. She's marketable, popular, and she has a loyal fan base. But popularity isn't a substitute for production. And right now, it feels like...
I was like, what in the world? Caitlin Clark, questionable for tomorrow with the left leg injury.
It feels like Angel is confusing social media relevance with basketball readiness. She's been in photo shoots, podcast appearances, courtside with celebrities. And meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been in the gym, locked in, watching film, and preparing to dominate the WNBA. There's a clear contrast here, And Angel might be underestimating just how brutal the leap from NCAA hype to WNBA.
Like, I was very, very worried that that we were going to see a Caitlin Clark missing the game. Like, I hope you're right. Kind of feels
hype
like an
to
FU
WNBA
fan.
reality truly is. This preseason injury scare, minor as it might be, doesn't weaken Caitlin's mystique. If anything, it fuels the narrative. It adds drama. And that drama, Caitlin owns it. Angel might think she's co-starring in this rivalry, but she might just be another name on the list of opponents Caitlin Clark turns into highlight clips. Angel's public persona suggests she believes this rivalry is 50-50, that they're equals, that this is a clash of titans. But on the court, there's a growing possibility this won't be a rivalry, it'll be a reckoning. Because Clark isn't coming to play a character in someone else's story. She's coming to write the script, headline the league, and force the WNBA to bend around her orbit. And here's the scary part. Clark remembers everything. She remembers the taunts, the gestures, the social media antics. And
Like
while
an
Angel was
FU
busy
Okay, listen, I've seen the tweet. I'm a little nervous, but I also know what I know about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. I think this questionable is a precaution. She played all through college with injuries, with migraines. She powered through. She got it done. Unless her leg is hanging off or like there's major problems, I don't think there's a world in which Caitlin Clark doesn't actually at least try to play a
And
little.
while Angel was
Guys,
busy
can we-
building a brand, Caitlin was preparing to bury people with deep threes and surgical passing. Angel might think this is a continuation of college drama, but Caitlin sees it as a professional mission. Dominate, elevate the game, and erase all doubt about who's the face of the WNBA. So, yes, Angel might be overestimating her role in this moment. She's not the storm. She's not the force. She's standing in front of one. And when Caitlin Clark steps on that court, leg healthy or not, this won't be a welcome to the league moment. It'll be a statement game. And Angel Reese might just be the unfortunate opening act to Caitlin Clark's main event. Angel Reese thinks she's stepping into a league that's going to embrace her like a star. But the WNBA doesn't operate on vibes or Instagram followers. It runs on skill, execution, and consistency. And right now, Angel
Guys,
is trying...
Caitlin Clark is now listed as questionable for Indiana Fever's first preseason game tomorrow. It feels like injury reports or status updates are all that we're getting right now. There's a couple more players that have been added since the video I posted yesterday as well. Fortunately, Caitlin's just listed as questionable, so it doesn't sound too serious. Maybe if we all say a little prayer tonight, she'll be good to go by tomorrow, and hopefully she's actually good to go by...
Self-aware that Caitlin Clark's leg is probably fine. However, I hate an injury report. Doesn't matter to the team, doesn't matter to the league, doesn't matter. Because sometimes you know your favorite player's hurt, and you know the injury report's coming, and you know their name's
Now,
gonna be on it.
Angel is trying to transfer college theatrics into a professional ecosystem that eats hype for breakfast and spits out pretenders by the All-Star break. She's treating the rivalry with Caitlin Clark like it's a partnership, like they're co-headliners on a tour. But Clark doesn't see it that way. Clark isn't here to share the stage. She's here to dominate it. She's been preparing like someone who knows this isn't just another season. It's a legacy year. She knows how she's perceived. She's heard the noise, seen the tweets, felt the jealousy. And instead of clapping back online, she's been sharpening her game in silence. Meanwhile, Angel Reese seems to think this is still social media warfare. She's posting, smiling, going viral. But that won't save her when she's switched onto a guard who's quicker, stronger, and more experienced. She's not at LSU anymore. There's no safety net. No Kim Mulkey calling
Right,
time.
it's not a definite she's out. All right, so nothing to panic about, but it did catch my eye. I was like, what in the world? I thought it was a prank. I thought this was a prank, man. I was like, nah, man, this is not real right now. This is not real, but apparently, yeah, man, it's real. This came from the
No Kim
real...
Mulkey
they gonna
calling
see-
timeouts to protect her. No college referees scared of whistle optics. This is the WNBA, where rookies either show and prove or get buried on the depth chart behind veterans who fought tooth and nail just to survive. And that's what Angel doesn't seem to grasp yet. The vets aren't just going to let her come in and be a star because she was popular in college. They see her as a loud rookie with a flashy image and a questionable motor. They see the missed layups, the poor footwork, the slow recovery on defense, and they're circling her. They're waiting. Every game will be a test. Every drive will be physical. Every rebound will be a war. And here's where it gets chilling. Caitlin Clark is going to thrive in that chaos. She wants the smoke. She thrives on it. Angel Reese might be the one who brought the "you can't see me" energy, but Clark is the one who took that disrespect, internalized it, and turned it into fuel. She's not emotional about this. She's surgical. And when they meet on the court, Angel might be expecting another media moment, but Clark will be hunting for blood. This isn't going to be a rivalry. This is going to be a reminder that stardom has to be earned at this level, that every missed rep in the offseason, every media distraction, every skipped skill drill, all of that adds up. And when the ball tips and Caitlin Clark goes off for 25, 10, and 8, while Angel stumbles through foul trouble and 3 of 11 shooting, that's when the reality will hit. She wasn't co-starring. She was just Angel Reese walks into the WNBA thinking the narrative will carry her, that the millions of Instagram followers, the NIL deals, the fashion, the headlines, that all of that is going to buy her time and space in the pros. But here's the uncomfortable reality. The league doesn't care. The WNBA is full of women who've been grinding in silence for years. Players like Alyssa Thomas, who put up triple-doubles on torn shoulders. Players like Natasha Cloud, who fought for contracts overseas just to stay afloat. Players like Candace Parker, who changed the game and still had to battle for her respect. You think they're going to roll out a red carpet for Angel Reese because she got a Sports Illustrated shoot? Not a chance. Angel is underestimating the level of detail, mental toughness, and basketball IQ that's required just to survive in this league, let alone thrive. She thinks this is about rivalries and revenge tours, but this league is about the little things. Executing defensive rotations, switching without giving up angles, finishing through actual contact from grown professionals, not college kids. And here's where it gets dangerous for her. She thinks her energy is enough, that her charisma and edge will carry her. But energy without discipline is chaos. Swagger without substance is hollow. And meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been in the lab, obsessed with every detail, every read, every defensive breakdown, every closeout. She's not thinking about headlines. She's thinking about playoff seeding. She's not chasing attention. She's chasing greatness. Angel thinks she's in a storybook rivalry, but Caitlin is in a war for respect, for history, for immortality. She's already faced the hate. She's already heard that she's just a shooter, that she's overhyped, that she'll get exposed in the league, and instead of getting emotional, she got surgical. And here's the scariest part. While Angel was on red carpets, Caitlin was breaking down film. While Angel was building a brand, Caitlin was building a weapon. The result? When they step onto the court, Angel Reese is going to realize something brutal. She didn't bring a game plan. She brought a personality. And in the WNBA, that's not enough. Caitlin Clark didn't show up to be a celebrity. She showed up to be a problem. So while Angel Reese is selling headlines, Caitlin Clark is stacking wins. One is chasing attention, the other is chasing history. And in a league that doesn't hand out respect, but makes you earn it, that difference matters.
Is they going to see how you feel? Does it feel okay? Does it not feel okay? Do you want to go? Do you want to go? What's curious is this is one of these situations where if it's not a crazy injury, they leave it to the player. Do you want to go or do you want to? And the real thing is, do you want to risk it? Do you want to risk it for the preseason? Not really.
I mean, it's an exhibition game. It's preseason. She's not going to do anything crazy anyways. They're not going to play her a ton of minutes anyways. I do think the most likely scenario, maybe she starts, doesn't play a ton, throws up a few logo threes, maybe plays some mediocre defense, but isn't going to go all out because she doesn't want to injure it further. But she has said before in interviews that she knows who she is and she knows that people show up for her and she doesn't want to disappoint the fans. So I do think, unless this is a catastrophic injury and they're just not telling us yet, that Caitlin Clark will be at least available to play a little bit. The official report.
This isn't college anymore. The rivalries, real. The hits, harder. The pressure, constant. And if you show up without the skills, the mindset, and the work ethic, this league will humble you fast. Angel Reese might think she's ready, but the WNBA is about to ask her a question she's never had to answer. Can you back it up? Not with talk, not with TikToks, but with production, with efficiency, with winning basketball. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark doesn't need to talk. She lets the scoreboard speak for her. She lets the box score scream. And every game she plays, she's rewriting the rules of what's possible and what's expected from a rookie. So as the season tips off, remember this: fame fades, highlights come and go, but greatness, that stays. And Caitlin Clark isn't here to trend. She's here to take over.